Archangel Michael says, "You are still not seeing clearly what took place last night, and heaven is calling this your final chance to uncover what has been hidden from your heart for far too long. You must open your heart right now, because this moment carries a truth that has been buried beneath your worries, your distractions, and your pain for too long. God is not waiting. This is not just another message. This is your last opportunity to see what your spirit has been trying to reveal to you over and over again. Type 999 if you trust Jesus. Even as the world around you sleeps, heaven has not rested. There was a shift in the spiritual realm while you were unaware, while your eyes were closed and your heart was heavy with things of this world. A door was opened, a whisper was spoken, and an angel stood at the gate of your home, waiting for your soul to hear the call. But the noise of fear, the burden of doubt, and the storm of your unanswered prayers made it hard for you to sense it. And yet, even now, God's hand is stretched toward you, asking you to turn back to Him before it's too late. My child, please listen to this important message until it ends, because God has something very wonderful for you at the end. There is a sacred moment that passed last night, and though you may have missed it with your natural eyes, your spirit still has a chance to grasp it now. You may not understand how deep this moment truly is, but heaven is speaking to you with urgency. God is asking you to take off the veil of fear, to lay down the weight of bitterness, and to stop ignoring the signs He keeps sending. He's been speaking to you through dreams, through the silence of the night, through the ache in your chest, through the restlessness that doesn't go away. He's been telling you, look up. I am still here. I never left you. Like this video and subscribe to this channel if God means everything to you. And even though your life may feel like it's stuck, like the prayers you've whispered haven't reached Him, God wants you to know that He heard every single one. He counted every tear you cried alone, when no one was there to hold your hand. He watched you sleep in silence when your heart was screaming. And He sent angels to stand guard over you because the battle you're in isn't just a physical one, it's spiritual. You're not just fighting delays and disappointments. You're fighting unseen resistance. But you are not alone in that battle. What if 7 minutes could rewrite your financial future forever? This hidden frequency, backed by neuroscience, flips the brain's natural wealth switch, unleashing unstoppable prosperity. People are calling it the money magnet sound, and it's already transforming lives. But hesitation means missing out while others move ahead. This is your moment to act. Click the link in the video description and comments below to awaken the wealth inside you today before the chance slips away. There is a reason the enemy has tried to keep you blind. There is a reason the distractions around you feel louder than God's voice. There is a reason you have been tempted to give up. Because what God has planned for you next is something the enemy fears. The truth that was revealed last night in heaven carries the power to shake every lie that's been spoken over your life. It holds the answer you've been aching for, the breakthrough that will turn your tears into praise. But you must not ignore this moment. You must not harden your heart. This is not just another morning. This is a divine wake-up call. God's love is not passive, it chases you, it pursues you through the ruins. It searches for you when you run away. And even if you feel like you've failed Him, even if you think you've taken too many wrong turns, even if your faith has felt like it's flickering out, God is still saying, "Come home to me." He's not looking at you with judgment. He's looking at you with mercy. He's calling you back because he knows the pain of what's ahead if you stay blind to the truth he's trying to show you now. Type 1919 to embrace healing. And what is that truth? It's not something you'll find by looking around. It's something you will only find by surrendering. God wants to show you what the world cannot, what your eyes alone cannot perceive. He wants to show you that your story is not over. That the rejection you faced was not the end. That the loss you endured didn't disqualify you. That the people who left you were never strong enough to stop his plan for you. That you were never abandoned, you were protected. That everything he allowed you to walk through was leading to a moment like this. You are standing at the edge of a moment that could change your entire life. But God will not force you to see. He will not drag you into the light. He is a father who waits, not a ruler who commands without mercy. Still, he is making it very clear, this is the final invitation for you to listen. This is the final knock on the door of your soul before the moment passes, and the blessing moves to someone else who is ready to receive it with a surrendered heart. God is patient, but he is also just. He's giving you one last opportunity to step into the truth that has been kept from you only because you were not yet ready to accept it. There is something hidden in plain sight. A message was delivered to your spirit while the world was asleep. And now that your eyes are reading these words, heaven is watching to see what you will do with them. Will you soften your heart and say yes to the healing? Will you embrace the still, small voice of God instead of the loud accusations of fear? Will you finally trust that your life was never meant to end in sorrow? God is rewriting something right now, right as you read this. He's preparing to restore years you thought were wasted. He's stirring the waters of your heart to awaken the deep, buried places of hope. He's whispering life into dreams that died too soon. He's bringing peace to thoughts that have been haunted by what-ifs. He's giving you back your name, your purpose, your joy. And all of this begins the moment you stop running and start receiving. You were not created to live in the shadows of confusion. You were not created to remain blind to your own divine inheritance. You are the child of a king who never stopped calling your name, even when you stopped listening. While you slept or stayed awake in quiet worry, something unfolded in the spirit realm, something deeply connected to your future, your healing, your redemption. God spoke into the darkness with light, and he released something that had been held back for far too long. But to receive it, you must first open your heart to what he's showing you now. Your eyes have seen much, but they haven't yet seen what truly matters. You've witnessed broken promises, unexpected betrayals, and painful moments that left you numb, but God wants to show you something deeper than the surface pain. He wants to show you the unseen rescue that took place on your behalf. He wants to show you the trap that was set against you, and how it was destroyed without your knowledge. While the enemy planned destruction, God sent angels to cancel it before it touched your life. But unless you open your spiritual eyes, you will miss the truth of just how protected you've been. Type 222 if you know God is with you. There are things you cried about that never happened because heaven stopped them. There were people who tried to curse your name, but their words never reached God's ears. There were battles forming behind your back that never saw the light of day because angels intercepted them before they touched your life. Last night, while you wrestled in your spirit, God settled matters in heaven. But the breakthrough cannot enter until you receive the truth with humility and surrender. This is not the time to close your ears or silence your spirit. God is shouting through grace. He is urging you to stop denying what He has been trying to reveal for so long. You have cried for signs, and He has sent them. You have begged for answers, and He has whispered them through every kind gesture, every delayed rejection, and every unexpected redirection. But your focus on the wrong things has kept you from seeing the right ones. And now, heaven is making one final plea: wake up before the moment slips past again. He knows how tired you are. He knows how long you've waited. He knows the weight you carry and the numbness you feel from holding on to disappointment too long. But He's not angry at you for that. He is not condemning you for your weakness. He is only asking you to return to Him with open hands so He can place in them the blessing that was released last night. Your delay does not cancel your destiny, but it can make the road longer. God is trying to shorten your suffering. He is trying to bring the blessing into your life with no more delay. But He needs your willingness. Do not let fear or pride keep you from the healing. Do not let pain be the reason you stay stuck in cycles that God is breaking even now. Do not let the lies of the enemy convince you that this message is not for you. If you are reading this, it is because heaven arranged it. It is because God Himself is calling you back into the truth that belongs to you, the truth that says, you are not forgotten. You are not too late. You are not too broken. And you are not disqualified. What happened last night is spiritual. And what God is doing now requires your heart to believe even when your eyes cannot see. What if 7 minutes of sound could end years of financial struggle and replace it with freedom, prosperity, and peace? This ancient frequency, once locked away in secret government research, is now changing lives everywhere. Imagine bills erased, doors opening, and sudden windfalls flowing into your hands. But every delay is wealth lost forever. Click the link in the video description and comments below to switch on your money wave, and claim abundance today. You don't need every answer today. You just need to take one step back toward Him. One breath of surrender. One honest cry from the deepest part of you that says, God, I am listening again. He is not asking you to be perfect. He is not waiting for you to have it all together. He is only waiting for you to respond, to reach out, to say yes to what He is offering you. He is not a God who withholds. He is a God who restores. He is a God who waits until you're ready to see what's always been there. Last night, something was removed from your path that could have destroyed your peace. A person, a connection, or a lie that was wrapped in false light was revealed for what it truly was. God exposed it, not to shame you, but to protect you. He did not allow you to see it before because you were not yet strong enough to walk away. But now, with His strength, you will walk forward, not looking back. The truth is not always what we expect, but it is always what we need. And when God reveals, He always follows with healing. Type 1515 to receive peace in your soul. So if your heart feels heavy, let it feel. If your eyes fill with tears, let them fall. If your soul aches for something more, do not push it away. You are not being punished. You are being pulled into something deeper. Into a love that does not end when life gets hard. Into a truth that can't be shaken by rumors, loss, or failure. Into a peace that surpasses understanding, because it doesn't depend on anything but God's presence alone. This is your moment to return. This is your time to believe again. God is not far. He is closer now than ever before. He has been watching and waiting, not with frustration, but with compassion. He has counted every time you tried to be strong, and He is now offering to carry what you can no longer hold. You don't have to be silent anymore. You don't have to wear the mask of strength when your heart is breaking. You can come to Him just as you are, because that is the version of you He loves the most, the honest one, the raw one, the one who's ready to let go of pretending and hold on to grace instead. This message is your invitation to stop running. The truth you've been blind to is this: God never left you. And every time you felt abandoned, He was fighting for you behind the scenes. Every time you were overlooked, He was saving your place for something greater. Every time you were broken, He was gathering the pieces to build something stronger. That's what happened last night. That's what's happening right now. You were one of the few chosen to receive this message today because your life is being redirected, your path is being corrected, and your spirit is being called into a higher place of healing, protection, and peace. You may have felt something strange, a restless feeling in your soul, a sudden heaviness, a flicker of emotion that you couldn't quite explain. That was the beginning. That was heaven brushing up against the edges of your earthly worries to get your attention. What you thought was just another silent night was actually a turning point in the unseen. God did not just observe your pain. He moved on it. He responded, and now the answer is being delivered through this message in the very moment you're reading it. This is your awakening. Not a loud, dramatic event in the world around you, but a quiet, strong rising in your heart that you cannot ignore anymore. God has been speaking softly to you for days, maybe weeks. Through the patterns you've noticed. Through the voices you've tuned out. Through the things you've let go of without knowing why. You're not losing your way. You're being aligned. You're not falling apart. You're being rebuilt from the inside out. What was revealed in heaven last night was meant for your freedom. Type 1616 if you surrender to God's will. There was a final tearing away of the spiritual ropes that have kept you bound to the wrong ideas about yourself, your past, and your future. God is no longer allowing the lies that have tormented you to stay wrapped around your identity. He is replacing them with truth, with grace, and with clarity. That's why certain people have felt distant lately. That's why your spirit is no longer at peace in places that used to feel comfortable. Because those things are no longer attached to your purpose. God has disconnected you from what doesn't match your calling. You may not see the full picture yet, but that doesn't mean the picture isn't being painted. He is working behind the scenes in ways your mind can't fully grasp right now. But your heart can feel it. That stirring. That shift. That quiet pull towards something greater, something deeper. It's real. And it's holy. This is not the time to back down. This is the moment to go forward with more faith than you've ever had before. This is the final hour where God is pouring oil on your wounds and saying, "Now walk with me." Your miracle isn't far away. It's closer than it's ever been. But God will not release it into closed hands. You must let go. Let go of the bitterness that creeps in when you remember who hurt you. Let go of the guilt that haunts you when you think of what you could have done differently. Let go of the fear that keeps telling you you're not worthy of healing, not ready for restoration. Let go of the habit of expecting the worst. Heaven is asking you to make room for joy, for love, for peace, for blessings that are greater than your trauma. Last night, the spiritual chains that once held you were broken. All that's left is for you to walk free. God is calling you by name again. Not the name the world gave you. Not the one shaped by your mistakes or your story. But the name heaven knows you by, the one spoken in love, sealed in purpose, and covered by grace. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not behind. You are not broken beyond repair. You are still His. Still chosen. Still deeply loved. And He's proving it through this sacred invitation to come into the truth. And the truth is this: He has never stopped writing your story. Even when the pages felt empty. Even when the chapters were full of pain. Even when you felt like the plot of your life had nothing left worth reading. He kept writing. Because He sees the ending. He knows the joy that's coming. He knows the peace that's on the way. He knows the love you haven't yet tasted, the doors you haven't yet walked through, the blessings you've almost forgotten to hope for. They're still coming. And they start now, in this moment of surrender. He's not asking for a perfect performance. He's asking for your heart. And if you feel it burning right now, if something deep inside you is trembling or softening, don't run from it. That's the Spirit moving. That's the breath of God whispering, "This is your moment." Don't close the door again. Don't put this off for tomorrow. You've waited long enough. You've cried long enough. You've questioned long enough. This is the hour for healing. For breakthrough. For peace. For truth. For finally seeing what you could not see before. Type 2020 to claim joy and strength. The enemy would love for you to walk away from this message and forget everything you've just felt. But God is asking you to hold it close. The truth is simple: you were created for abundance, yet a dormant brain signal has been holding you back. Scientists call it the money-attracting frequency, and once awakened, it pulls wealth into your life like never before. Others who pressed play once are already transformed, living the life they dreamed of. Do not hesitate or let regret steal this chance. Click the link in the video description and comments below to unlock your prosperity now. To write it on your heart, to respond with your spirit. To say yes, even if you don't know what that means just yet. Just say yes to Him. Say yes to healing. Say yes to the truth that was revealed last night in heaven, even if you don't understand it all yet. Because what's ahead will make it all clear. This message wasn't written just for encouragement. It was written for transformation. Heaven waited for this moment for you to be ready. And you are. Right here. Right now. You are ready. You've been walking with a weight you didn't know you were still carrying, living with shadows you thought had already passed. But last night, something sacred happened that shifted the ground beneath you, and it is only now, in this very moment, that you're being given the eyes to see it. This is not just a message. This is your release. Type Amen if you believe in God's power, and share this video with 9 people to invite peace, blessings, and miracles today. You may not remember the moment your spirit stirred in the early hours. You may not recall the flicker of unrest, or that brief silence that felt heavier than usual. That was not coincidence. That was heaven speaking. While you were surrounded by stillness, a holy exchange took place over your life. God whispered something that shifted your future. He reordered things, realigned things, restructured what the enemy thought he could destroy. But he didn't shout it from the heavens. He whispered it in love, to the hearts that are still enough to hear him. You're not reading this because it's another comforting word to skim through. You're reading this because you were meant to. Because something in your life has reached the edge of change, and heaven cannot keep silent about it any longer. This is the moment God is uncovering what has been hidden, not from you, but for you. And it had to be revealed now, not earlier, not later, because now your heart is finally ready to receive it. The truth is, you've grown. You've endured more than anyone knows. You've prayed in silence when no one was watching. You've cried on nights when your strength couldn't hold you anymore. And in every single one of those moments, God was gathering the tears, recording the pain, and preparing something beautiful behind the scenes. Last night, the doors that once stayed shut began to open. And though you didn't hear them creak, the sound of heaven's movement is now reaching your heart. You were never forgotten. The delay wasn't rejection. The silence wasn't absence. The pain wasn't punishment. It was preparation. Because God never gives you something too early, He waits until the moment your spirit can carry what your hands have been longing to hold. And now, after all the trials, after all the unanswered nights, He's speaking clearly. He's saying, look up. It's your time now. But there's more. Type 111 if you believe miracles are near. There was a lie that tried to bury you. A lie you picked up somewhere along the way that told you you're not enough, that you're too broken, too late, too far gone. That lie has built a wall inside of you, one that you didn't even realize was there. It shaped how you prayed. It shaped how you believed. It shaped how you saw yourself. And last night, God shattered it. He tore it down. Because it was time for the real you to rise again. You are not what they said about you. You are not the worst thing you've done. You are not the pain that tried to redefine your identity. You are God's beloved. You are His masterpiece. And while you've been fighting to survive, heaven has been preparing you to thrive. Every betrayal, every loss, every unanswered question brought you here, to the doorway of healing, truth, and purpose. And you cannot turn away now. God is not inviting you to understand everything. He's inviting you to trust Him in everything. There are moments coming where you will look back and realize that what hurt you most actually prepared you best. There are divine setups taking place behind every no, every delay, every sudden change. You are not at the end. You are just now at the beginning of what was truly meant for you all along. So let go. Not just in words, but deep in your soul. Let go of the timelines you created. Let go of the need to explain or control. Let go of what people think of you, and step into what God already knows about you. You are stronger than you've believed. You are holier than you've noticed. You are worth more than you've accepted. And God is about to prove that by what He brings into your life next. The shift that started last night is not done. It's just beginning. Every step you take now with faith will multiply what's waiting on the other side. Doors are about to open because you've been faithful in private. Blessings are about to be revealed because you've believed in silence. Favor is about to find you, not because you earned it, but because God promised it. And God never breaks a promise. He may delay to protect. He may hide to heal. But He never forgets. And He never leaves. So walk boldly now. Not because the storm is over, but because you finally realize who walks with you through it. Heaven didn't choose this time by accident. This is your appointed hour. This is your turning point. What was hidden has now been uncovered. What was closed has now been unlocked. What was silent has now been spoken. And it was all done for you. You may not realize it fully yet, but something in your life has already started to shift. The burdens you've carried, the questions you've lived with, and the silence you've endured, God has seen them all, and last night, He moved on your behalf in a way that changed everything. The spiritual atmosphere around you is no longer what it was. And from this point forward, nothing will stay the same. There is something powerful about moments that pass quietly but carry eternal weight. That's what last night was. It was a divine reset. A moment where old chains fell without noise, and new beginnings were placed into your hands without warning. Not because of anything you did to deserve it, but because of who God is, merciful, loving, and patient even when you don't see it. This is His nature. And it is out of that love that He is giving you another chance, your final opportunity, to open your eyes, open your spirit, and see what's been hidden in plain sight all along. Type Amen to trust God's plan for your life. You've waited for breakthrough. You've prayed for clarity. You've begged for peace. And God is answering, not always with thunder, but with peace that settles deep into your soul and doesn't make sense to the world around you. That is how you'll know it's Him. Not by the noise of a miracle, but by the stillness that follows when heaven touches your life and suddenly, the things that once broke you no longer hold power over your emotions. That is what's happening now. It's subtle, but it's real. Some of the most important blessings do not arrive with applause. They arrive in silence, in shifts, in whispered confirmations that only your spirit understands. You are being invited to notice what has changed. The heaviness is lifting. The cycle is breaking. The same thoughts that used to control your every breath are loosening their grip. And the opportunities that once felt so far away are quietly approaching your doorstep. Every second you wait, wealth meant for you slips into someone else's hands. A hidden brain wave, once buried in CIA files, has been proven to awaken unstoppable prosperity. In just 7 minutes, you can unlock the switch inside your mind that draws abundance like a magnet. This is more than an opportunity, it is destiny knocking. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate your hidden wealth wave right now. But here's the most important part: God needs you to believe it before you see it. He needs your heart to be so open, so surrendered, so willing, that even if nothing looks different around you yet, your faith walks like it's already done. That is where the miracle begins. In the faith that rises before the evidence appears. In the trust that walks even when the path is still foggy. In the hope that refuses to die even when it's tired. Last night, your name was spoken in heaven with urgency. Angels were released, not just to protect you, but to carry answers, provisions, and realignment. A door that had been shut for years, maybe even decades, began to unlock. A barrier that seemed permanent cracked under the authority of God's word. What the enemy had hoped would destroy you has now become the foundation of your testimony. What he thought would keep you blind has only positioned you to see more clearly than ever before. You don't have to earn this grace. You don't have to fight for this moment. You only have to receive it. Let your heart be still. Let your hands unclench. Let your mind rest in the truth that God is not done with you. In fact, He is only just beginning the most meaningful part of your journey. And this time, you will not walk alone, unsure or unstable. You will walk with clarity. You will walk with wisdom. You will walk with peace in your chest, even if there's chaos around you. Because God isn't just fixing your situation, He's strengthening your soul. And maybe the greatest truth hidden in all of this is that you were never really broken. You were just being prepared. Every closed door taught you discernment. Every delay taught you endurance. Every heartbreak revealed who was never meant to go with you into the next season. And every lonely night prepared you to recognize the presence of God when all else fades. That's what last night was. A final transition. A spiritual relocation. God pulled you out of one chapter and placed you at the very beginning of another. And now, the story is about to change. Type 3030 if you believe Jesus lives in your heart. You're going to feel lighter. Not because the world is different, but because you are. You're going to start attracting peace instead of pain, growth instead of guilt, purpose instead of pressure. Why? Because your heart has turned back to the one who never let go of you. Because even when you didn't know how to pray, God still covered you. Because even when you were numb, He remained faithful. And because now, you're finally ready to see it. Don't second-guess this. Don't minimize what your spirit is feeling. This is holy. This is sacred. And it is not by chance. You are walking into a season where what once felt impossible will suddenly feel normal. Not because the odds changed, but because your spirit did. Because the truth God whispered into you last night is now anchoring you in a way that no lie can shake. What once made you feel lost will now lead you home. And the people who couldn't see your value will no longer define your worth. You've outgrown the place that once held you. And now, it's time to rise. You are no longer standing where you once were. You are no longer chained to the confusion, the fear, the self-doubt that quietly ruled your thoughts for so long. Something shifted. Something sacred. And now, every step forward carries the authority of what God has spoken over you in the unseen. This is no longer about surviving. This is about becoming. This is about stepping into the version of you that God always knew was there, the you that is whole, even if you've been broken, the you that is loved, even if you've been rejected, the you that is called, even when others didn't believe in you. The truth of last night was not meant to destroy what you've built. It was meant to reveal what was always real beneath what life layered on top of you. You are not who the world tried to shape you into. You are who God formed in love before the world ever had a voice. There is beauty rising now from the ashes of disappointment. There is healing taking root where there was once only ache. You may not be able to explain it to anyone else, and you don't have to. What's happening in you is not for everyone to understand. It's between you and God. And right now, He's holding you close, whispering reminders of what you once believed when your faith was unshaken and pure. He's reminding you of the childlike trust you used to carry before the world made your heart grow guarded. The struggles you faced were never your fault. A hidden brain frequency, once buried in secret research, has been silently holding back your wealth. Now, for the first time, it is available to you, and it only takes minutes to activate. Imagine the chains of debt breaking, the doors of opportunity opening, and your life flooding with prosperity. This chance may never return. Click the link in the video description and comments below to claim it now. This message is not just confirmation. It is instruction. It's heaven telling you not to return to what you've outgrown. Don't go back to the thoughts that made you feel unworthy. Don't revisit the chapters that nearly broke you. Don't apologize for the strength you found through pain. Instead, walk boldly into this next season. Not with perfection, but with peace. Because you know now, you were never truly lost. You were just being led through a valley that would teach you how to listen for God in the dark. Type "I believe" if you believe miracles are on the way. And He never left you. Not once. Even when you closed your heart. Even when you felt ashamed. Even when you gave up on yourself. He still called your name in heaven. He still protected what the enemy tried to steal. He still sent angels to cover your room at night when anxiety made it hard to breathe. He still whispered hope when your thoughts were loud with fear. He still held your future in His hands, even when you didn't think you had one. And that's why this moment matters so much. Because this is where your healing becomes your testimony. This is where your tears become evidence of grace. Last night was sacred because it marked the end of delay. It marked the end of confusion. It marked the end of the lies you've believed for far too long. Heaven didn't just shift things around you, it shifted things inside of you. Your heart is not the same. Your eyes are not the same. What once made you crumble now makes you pray. What once made you give up now makes you worship. That's how you know God has been working, because what once destroyed you is now the very thing that's building you into something stronger. You are not who you used to be, and you never will be again. The door that opened last night was not small. It was massive. But it doesn't look like what you expected. It's not a sudden windfall, a loud miracle, or a public display. It's subtle. It's quiet. It's inward. It's spiritual. And that's why many will miss it. But you won't. Because your spirit knows the weight of what just changed. You may not have the words for it yet, but something inside of you is finally starting to rest. That's how miracles begin, in the stillness of a surrendered heart. God is not asking you to pretend everything is okay. He's asking you to be honest so He can meet you where you are. He's not looking for perfect prayers or spiritual performance. He just wants your openness. Your honesty. Your willingness to say, God, I don't fully understand this moment, but I trust You're in it. That is where His glory shows up. Not in our strength, but in our surrender. Not in our certainty, but in our faith. And you have that kind of faith, even if it's just a small flicker. God sees it. He honors it. And He's multiplying it now. He's pouring new oil into your dry places. He's speaking rest into your restless nights. He's holding your tomorrow, even while you're still figuring out today. The truth that was hidden is now revealing itself, not all at once, but moment by moment. You'll notice it in how you respond differently. You'll notice it in how you speak to yourself more kindly. You'll notice it in the way peace returns without warning. That is God. That is evidence of the shift. That is the fruit of what happened last night. You don't need to strive anymore. You just need to stay close. Stay close to God's presence. Stay close to the truth of His voice. Stay close to the gentle reminder that you are loved, even on the days you feel unworthy. Stay close to the purpose that's unfolding inside of you with every single breath. What happened last night wasn't just spiritual movement, it was a divine announcement over your name. God declared that the season of silence, of hidden pain, of waiting in the shadows is coming to an end. You are being ushered into a season of clarity. Not the kind that rushes in all at once, but the kind that settles deep within and slowly rewrites the way you see everything around you. Type 222 if you trust that God is with you always. There is something different about the air around your soul right now. It carries weight, not the weight of fear or anxiety, but the quiet weight of peace. A holy stillness. An awareness that you are not alone, not abandoned, not forgotten. You may still be walking through the same streets, seeing the same faces, fighting the same battles. But inside, something has changed. The roots of your faith are growing deeper. The flame of hope is burning steadier. The questions haven't disappeared, but they no longer hold the same power they used to. Because now you know, God was never punishing you. He was preparing you. You had to go through what you went through so you could hear Him clearly. So your heart would be soft enough to receive, and your eyes open enough to recognize the truth when it came. That truth was released last night. It came gently, like a whisper in the dark, but it carried the authority of heaven. You are being redefined, not by what the world sees, but by what God has always known. And now, He's calling you to walk in that truth, not just feel it in moments of inspiration, but live it in every breath. You are not a victim of your story. You are the living evidence that God still heals, still restores, still speaks. And He's speaking now. Not through storms, but through stillness. Not through noise, but through nudges. Through the peace you can't explain. Through the tears that suddenly come when you feel something shift in your chest. That's not emotion alone. That's God stirring something awake inside of you. That's the truth pushing past every lie you've lived under. That's love reintroducing itself to the parts of you that have forgotten what it feels like to be safe. He is reminding you, you are safe now. In Him. With Him. Always. The moments that broke you no longer have the authority to define who you are. What they said about you, what they didn't see in you, what they took from you, it does not get to have the final word. God is rewriting it all. And His words are not temporary or shallow. They are eternal. They are rooted in love. They are sealed in promise. When He calls you chosen, it is not a suggestion. It is a declaration. And heaven will move mountains to make sure that what He spoke over your life comes to pass. Last night was not random. It was marked on heaven's calendar long before you were even born. That's why this message feels so personal. Because it is. It's written for your heart, not your head. It's written for the part of you that's been quiet for too long. The part of you that remembers how to believe. The part of you that still wants to hope. God is stirring that part now. He's pouring fresh oil into old wounds. He's placing light into rooms of your soul that have been closed off. He's breaking walls, not to leave you exposed, but to make space for joy, for healing, for the kind of love that doesn't leave when life gets hard. You are standing in a holy moment right now. It may not look dramatic. It may not feel loud. But your spirit knows the truth. This is the moment you stop looking backward. This is the moment you no longer chase things that don't carry peace. This is the moment you no longer shrink yourself to fit into places that don't know how to carry your heart. This is the moment you say yes to the deeper life God has been calling you into, gently, faithfully, persistently. Type 333 to welcome peace into your heart. You're not late. You're not behind. You're not missing anything. In fact, you're right on time. Heaven's timing is not measured by clocks or calendars. It's measured by surrender. And right now, your surrender is enough. Your openness is enough. Your quiet hope is enough. God sees it. He honors it. He's building on it. And what He builds cannot be torn down. Not by people, not by circumstances, not by your past. Because what's beginning now is not based on your strength, it's based on His love. And His love doesn't fail. Let this be your turning point. Not because the storm is over, but because you've remembered who anchors you in it. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to rush ahead or prove your worth. You just need to keep showing up with an open heart. Let God carry what you can't. Let Him lead where you're tired of guessing. Let Him love you, not for what you do, but for who you are, His child, fully known, fully seen, fully chosen. a final confirmation. A quiet but mighty announcement in the heavens that said, "It is time now. The waiting is over. The hidden truth must now come into the light." You've been standing at the edge of breakthrough for longer than you know, but now the door has opened. Not by force, not by pressure, but by grace. God opened it for you while you slept, while your heart wrestled, while your mind searched for answers. He stepped into the middle of your unrest, the thick fog of confusion, and with one breath of his presence, he scattered what the enemy had tried to layer over you. Every lie you believed, every doubt that kept you bound, every fear that kept you from stepping forward, he dealt with it while you didn't even know he was moving. This is how he works. Quietly. Faithfully. Always. He doesn't need noise to perform miracles. He doesn't need permission to move mountains. When he sees his child in need, he steps in without delay. And last night, heaven moved for you. Not because you cried the loudest, or fought the hardest, or prayed the perfect words, but because he loves you. And that love is the most powerful force that exists. It's the reason you're still standing. It's the reason you didn't fall apart for good. It's the reason this message even found you. God has not overlooked you. You were not forgotten in the shuffle of other people's blessings. You were not skipped. You were hidden, for protection, for preparation, for timing. And now, that hiding season has ended. What was concealed is being revealed. What was delayed is being delivered. What was misunderstood is now being clarified. And God is doing it in such a gentle, tender way that your heart won't even feel shaken. It will feel safe. It will feel seen. It will feel like home. This message is your invitation to stop chasing clarity and start receiving it. You don't need to analyze every detail of what God is doing. You just need to lean into it. Let it wash over you. Let it speak to you in ways logic never could. Let it hold you when everything else feels too heavy. You've spent so long being strong. Now it's time to be still. To let God be the strength. To let him fight the battles you've exhausted yourself trying to win. He never asked you to do this alone. And you don't have to anymore. There is a gentle shift happening inside of you now. What if you could unlock a secret brain wave that top scientists discovered inside the hippocampus, the very switch that signals wealth and abundance? Hidden from the public for decades, this breakthrough can rewire your mind to attract prosperity faster than you imagined. Picture the stress of bills replaced with financial freedom and new opportunities. Every delay is a missed blessing, and those who act now are already walking into the wealth you deserve. Step forward before the door closes. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate this ancient money wave and step into abundance today. Type 444 if you believe in God's divine protection.